what we do documentary, we actually do same what fiction people do. They start search for good actor, right? They're searching for, they're making casting. I guess we're doing the same, because if you know, some people, for example, they can be beautiful, but you know, they cannot be on the screen more than 5 minutes. Then they're just beautiful. They don't. So what I'm trying to do, I'm searching for such people like you. I can watch. I already noticed you a few minutes ago, and for me, you were so beautiful. I mean, I already imagined film about you. So. Yeah, this kind of people, you know, if you go to YouTube and you check what is the most watchable in YouTube, is simply about simple small cat. And just because people, it's sometimes 5 million click just to see half cat playing with piece of paper, you know. This is, somehow people like to see people getting pleasure from watching. I believe this is the main point for me. That's why I prefer to find people who you like to see them. You like to see how they move. You like to see how they think. You like to see how they do this, how they do this. You have to like them. You have to like how they move, how they look. So it's kind of quality of what we call photogenic, right? What we call photogenic. But cinegenic people, they are, I see few of you very much cinegenic. So this for me, this is most important thing. But first, can I tell you one thing? I need to thank you because this morning I spent very unusual. If you are filmmakers mostly, right? You are filmmakers, right? So I guess only you can understand me. I will never say it in public because people will understand I'm idiot. So, but did you lost something? Did you see film Viva los Antípodas? Did you? Yeah. So, first of all, I need to say sorry, excuse a little bit, because I believe Spanish people hate me that I did not film people in Spain. But it happens, and I came to New Zealand very accidental. Let's say I came to New Zealand, I wanted to be there, of course, but I found whale on the coast in New Zealand. And I filmed story about whale. Then I calculate what is opposite of this point in New Zealand, and it happened that it's Spain, it's kind of 85 kilometers north from Madrid. And I called to my assistant, very nice girl from Germany. She called me, and I said, just go to Spain. I gave her coordinates. She came to Spain, and she called me from Spain to New Zealand. She said, Victor, there is nothing, just stone. And I said, listen, I have to see this stone. And it happened, the stone is so huge, it's like, let's say, huge like this. And it happens that she saw stone from another side, and she did not go around. So when I came to Spain, and I saw stone, and stone looks like whale, it was absolutely a miracle, because it is absolutely opposite. It's not like 500 meters on the left or 500 meters on the right. It's absolutely opposite from whale. So I said, I was shaking actually. I was shaking because you cannot create it. You cannot write it you cannot write script about it, right? It's kind of, something happens. I knew I'm going in the right direction. So my point is, I believe in miracle in cinema. I believe that something must happen, that you know you're doing film. Something must tell you, don't think I'm an idiot, but I believe there is a God of cinema. That's I know. I believe. And I know it's always helped me. So this morning, what I did, I came to that stone. I was in my stone, and I didn't see it for 6 years. And It's completely windy, snow, and very cold, but I was happiest person in the world. You cannot imagine someone came to meet Stone, but of course, as you are filmmakers, that's what I can say to you. So, what I believe that we should not make films. Again, it's very provocative what I'm saying. It's stupid, actually, but I believe we are doing too many films, and I believe we have to stop doing it. So I believe if we do more films, we will ruin our industry completely. I believe we don't need to make even good films. If you have a good idea, don't make it, please. Believe me, because this is a problem. Too many films, simply too many films. Too many goods, too many books, too much music, simply too much. That's why the value of things we are doing is absolutely impossible to imagine. That in Sundance this year was submitted 11,000 films. 11,000 films. It's just people sent to, it means people who believe they are talented. Many of you even did not send it because you may be shy to send it, but 11,000 people believe they are talented and believe they made a great movie, and they send it to. I believe so. It's probably part of problems. That's why I would say we should not film if you can live without filming. I mean, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying not to film. I'm trying not to film. Every time I would say about all my films, they are almost accidental. I mean, something happens that I cannot film. I have to film. It's something pushing me from inside, something more than, do you understand what I'm saying, right? It's something for example, now I have more or less 5, 6 ideas. And I kind of remember what Tarkovsky said. Tarkovsky said, if you have 10 ideas, then it means you don't have any. It's almost same as, in Russia we say, I don't know, maybe you have equal something in Spain. In Russia we say, one woman is too much, two women, not enough. Do you have it? Something like this. I mean, if you have idea, if you have few ideas, it means that there is no idea you cannot live without. I mean, it must be something crucial that you cannot live without. And so I can easily make film about this microphone. If you give me 2 hours in camera, well, maybe not 2 hours, maybe 2 days, but but I can make film about this microphone. And it will be funny film, but we shouldn't make it. I believe we have to be more critical to ourselves. And I would say, will you agree to spend your own million to do it? Just imagine you have it, or you have a house, or you have something you can sell, and do you agree to do it? I'm not asking you to do it, I'm just saying you have to ask yourself, do you agree to spend your million to make this film? If you do agree, then probably you can ask money from bank or from someone for producers or for commission editors. But if you don't agree to spend your own money, better not to make film. Maybe I'm wrong, but for the moment I would say I only will make film if something I know must be if I know I have to show something. I don't believe in, it was a very good question about beginning, starting point, about script and so on. Professionally, I'm screenwriter in the beginning. My first education is screenwriter. But since my all education, what we did like 2 years, every week we have to make a script. Every week, imagine, every week we have to make new script. So it was 2 years, endless hell. So, but then since 2 years, I never did it anymore. When I finished, so my maximum script I wrote was half page. And I believe it must be enough if you answer a few questions. But it must be something logic, and there are some secrets I can tell you. So people now, commissioners, they're reading like 100 scripts a week. Of course, they cannot read them, no time. That's why I believe the first line must be in a way that he wants to read second line. And second line must be such interesting that he must read third line. And third line must be something that he cannot stop. It's almost same as a cinema, right? It's kind of talking about dramaturgy in cinema. I don't believe in stories, actually. I don't believe we need stories. Of course, we probably need to have story in behind. And of course, people easy to understand stories than visual cinema. But for me, this is secondary. For me, important, if I want to say something, I don't do it. If I want to say something, I don't do it. I prefer to say it. For me, important in cinema, if I want to show something. That's why for me, important that I have a visual image first. I will tell you, if you remember Vivan Los Antipodos, I will tell you how it happened. So 30 years ago, I was a camera assistant, and I was sent to the North Pole. It was two people team. We were sent to North Pole. We were supposed to make film about people who study ice. And it's very long journey. So we take train from St. Petersburg to Murmansk, it's about 2 days. Then you take helicopter. And from helicopter, you get to the big boat, which can go through ice. And then you, 1 month, go to the North Pole. In fact, we did not reach North Pole, but it was 30 years ago. It was not a different time. So, but what was interesting that it was a group of scientists, kind of 20 people, and mostly men. All of them were men. And of course, after 2 weeks traveling, boys start talk about women, of course. And one of them was very much talkative. He was a cook. He was a scientist, and at the same time, he was a cook. What he did, and all the night he was preparing potato for next morning. So I was listening to him all night. And he always talked about his girlfriend. And then once he told me, unfortunately, my girlfriend is in the South Pole. So she is also a scientist, and she is also a cook. And she is in the South Pole. And imagine it's immediately image, right? So one person in the North Pole, one person in the South Pole. You can see this picture immediately, right? You don't need story anymore, right? You don't need story. You already have image. So for me, if I see image, I can imagine film. If you tell me, let's make film about scientists in the North Pole, I don't want. If you tell me whatever important about ice, whatever, I don't want. But if you give me image, I can imagine film. So at that time, 30 years ago, of course, it was not possible. It was no telephone, it was no Skype, it was no anything. You can only connect with women you love here, right? That was for me first moment. I realized I'm kind of filmmaker. I don't know, do you understand what I mean? For me it was, then of course I forgot it. And then 20 years after, I was in Buenos Aires with my film retrospective. And I had a few days, nothing to do. I took a car, I rented a car, and I started drive around country. And without map, what I normally do, and I recommend to everybody, because this is, what I do is, I'm taking car, and I don't drive by roads, by highways or roads on the map. I go like this. And this is absolutely, by the way, what I do here in city, I go circles, like, I made like few circles around this house, like one is one around block, second circle around one more bigger, then bigger, then you really know things, because otherwise you will never get to such streets, you will never see them, you will never see these people, you will never meet them. It's kind of unpredictable story, can change your life. So what, suddenly I appear in the place, I don't remember at the moment, it was 10 years ago, I don't remember it was sunset or it was sunrise. And I met, it was absolutely peaceful, absolutely beautiful, and I know it was no one around, absolutely no one around. And I saw the guy, you can imagine, right? So I saw a man, he was fishing, and it was so peaceful, no wind at all. It was, and his fishing line goes down to the water. He was on the kind of hill and close, so he was fishing, and his line, fishing line, right, goes down directly to the water, down. I don't know how it happened, probably because of light. It was sunset light or sunrise light. It was light from the side. I saw this light, fishing line goes down, very visible. And I imagine, what if I continue this line? What will happen there? What is there? So I came to Buenos Aires, I came to bookstore, and I learned that opposite of this peaceful place is Shanghai, most of the noisiest city in the world. It was immediately same kind of feeling that there is something here. So, but now it's important. Now is important. You need to be crazy, right, to do this. I called to my son, and I said, take a flight and fly to Shanghai and check what is there. Exactly opposite of this place. Not just, I know it's Shanghai, but what is exactly opposite on this, of this man with fishermen. My son flew to Shanghai, and he called me in 2 days. He said, you will never believe me. He said, so it's middle of this Shanghai, million people on the street, and there is a woman who is selling fish. So this is like, for me, was a moment, in that moment, I realized, it was a moment I remembered that story about North Pole in South Pole. So I forgot it for 20 years. But that image came to me immediately, like immediately this opposite. And I realized this is a movie, could be a movie. This could be a movie. Then I started search about, and I realized that most of the planet is covered by ocean, right? So 3.5 is ocean. So it means only few places in the world has land-to-land antipode. From all Europe, only Spain. From all Europe, only Spain. If you dig from here, you will come out in New Zealand. Just down. Yeah. And also, you will come out in the North Island of New Zealand. And from Galicia, so from Madrid region and from Miraflores, you can come to North Island in New Zealand, and Galicia coming to South Island of New Zealand. So that's how it works. So for me, important, I don't know guys for you, I never start with subject. I can't, I simply can't. I have no, how to say. I'm not curious to start with subject. I believe, maybe I'm wrong, I believe what we are trying to do in cinema, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying, so some people, we are all of us, and I don't believe something different can be. We are trying to be happy, right? So, someone happy because he plays football well. Someone happy because he can play piano well. I don't know. Someone happy because he knows how to drink vodka and not to be drunk. I'm happy when I'm filming. I'm just happiest person in the planet. Especially when I know that in this moment, no one else sees this. Only me. I'm filming and I know that what I see now, no one see before. No one ever saw it. And it's make me, and I know biggest pleasure if you know what to do with camera in this moment. If you know how to turn camera, have to move camera, have to react. Because you never know what will happen, right? You never know what will happen. I give you the last example before we start filming, before we go to, there are stupid rules. I don't know why they became popular, but all film students knows. Almost every film school in the world, they use it, but I don't know, it was very accidental. 10 years ago, it asked me to write kind of 10 rules for beginners, and I wrote something. Before we go for this, I will give you kind of, again, image of filmmaking. Do you know Newton, right? Newton? Isaac Newton. You say, no, I was... So everybody knows gravity, right? What he did, he found gravity, right? So, and everybody knows this mythology story about he was sitting and apple came to his... Do you know this, right? Do you? Yeah. My question is, so what finally he did? He just saw the apple fall down. But everybody saw it before him, right? Is it correct or not? Yeah. But nobody noticed that this is a rule of the planet. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? So everybody saw things falling down. But he noticed this is a rule. And that's what we do, but I believe. I believe filmmaker is a person who can look to ordinary thing. He can find in ordinary life here, who can find meaning of life, or who can see that that's why life running this way. Do you understand? It's very stupid, simple, but I believe it's something, there is something here. So we will go this way. I don't know if you're interested, because there are many young people here. Maybe we'll read it in Spanish. Yeah? Maybe you can read a few of them.
La primera regla es no filmes si puedes vivir sin filmar. La segunda, no filmes si quieres decir algo, solo habla o escribe de aquello. Filma solo si quieres mostrar algo o si quieres que la gente vea algo. Eso concierne a la película en su conjunto y a cada toma por separada. Tercera norma, no filmes si conoces el mensaje antes de filmar. Que la película te enseñe, no trates de salvar al mundo. No trates de cambiar al mundo. Mejor si la película te cambia a ti. Descubre al mundo y a ti mismo mientras filmas. La cuarta. No filmes algo que solo odies. No filmes algo que solo ames. Filma cuando no estés seguro si lo odias o lo amas. Ambos son cruciales para hacer arte. Filma cuando odies y ames al mismo tiempo. Y la quinta norma, Es necesario ocupar la mente antes y después de filmar, pero no ocupes tu cerebro mientras filmes. Solo filma usando tu instinto y tu intuición.
We have 5 more, but for now it's okay. So what I suggest, we will run film. Can we run film again? And sorry, I was in my stone and it was so windy and cold and snow and I lost my voice. Can we run film? This film was made against European production system. It happened like this. I lived in Germany. It was 10 years ago. I lived in Germany. I was preparing another project, and it was kind of big project, about €1 million budget, and and it took me 1 year to write and to talk. Even I don't like to write, but even this half page to dance, you know what I mean, right? To convince commission editors and all people who has money and so on and so on. So, and I lived 1 year in Germany, and every 2 months I took like holidays for myself. Like in every 2 months I took 3-4 days for rest. And I came home to St. Petersburg just to sleep and to see my kid, and so. And every time I came, something happened in the street, and I took camera from my son, which is like very cheap camera, like cheapest camera possible, and I start to film just for myself. And then I came back again to Germany. Then I was waiting again and again and again. So during 1 year, I came home 7 times. And every time I came, something happened. So, and I was filming without any reason. Then suddenly, in the middle of the year, I realized there is something interesting. And at that time, it was kind of forum, you know what a forum, right? Or when a lot of commission editors are sitting and listening what you say. And it was a big conference of somewhere in America, input conference. It was more than 100 commission editors. So I came to them and I said, listen, what if I will put camera from my window and will film during the year? What do you think? They say, yeah, but can you write something? I said, listen, I don't know what will happen. You know, whatever happens, I will film. How can I write? I don't know. Now they say, no, you have to write something. And I said, okay, people, you know me, right? I have 100 prizes, you know. You bought everything I made, every my single speed. Why you need me to write? Trust me. Just give me money, I will make film. No, they say, no, we can't. So they said, write at least 5 pages, then make a budget. And I said, so you want me to write fake script, on the basic of fake script, to write fake budget. You all know this is fake, you will agree, you will give me money. If I refuse to write bullshit, then you don't give me money. This is like, people, this is a strange situation. Imagine they knew me, right? They knew me very well. They bought all my films, and they didn't trust me. Imagine a young guy, a young girl. She wants to make real documentary without prediction. How she can get money? Never, right? And I said, okay, I go across the street. I will buy cheapest camera. I put from my window. I put everything in automatic, everything, after focus, after exposure. And I promise you, guys, you will buy it. And in 1 year, all of them bought it. I guess this film is supposed to be and Guinness record because I spent maybe 2,000 euro. Oh, camera cost $1,000. And okay, sound also. $2,000 maybe. Okay, maximum 5. And I got million just for afterwards when they bought it. So, so after 1 year sitting in Germany waiting for money, I realized I still don't have money in Germany, but I have 10 hours good material made from my window. And actually, I wanted to show everything, all 10 hours, but probably you don't like it to see. So I speed it up. You see, it's faster. It's 10 hours, but I made it 4 times quicker. So the fifth point was, this is very provocative. I don't know if you agree with me, but the fifth point was you need brain before. You need brain both before and after filming, but don't use brain during filming. When you film, use instinct intuition. I don't know if you agree with me, but for me it's very crucial. This is the moment you can see why we don't need brain. Yeah, you see, it's too late, but look, important moment. So I filming here, I didn't know what to do. I did not know. Then I saw this. So, stop, we don't need light. Wait a second, important. Then I found piece of sheet of dog, you know. Now look, I found these beautiful stones. You see obviously that I don't know what to do, right? But in fact it works. I will explain. Listen, if you, for example, you are a singer, imagine you're a singer, right? And you train in your voice like 10 years, 20 years, you know how to use your voice. And you know you have voice, right? So in the moment you have to sing in the stage, you don't need brain, right? You simply don't. You use your voice, use your talent. So in this moment, it will be stupid if I will use my brain if I'm singer, right? You don't need this. I believe same with cinema. So you need brain to be sure you're not singing stupid thing, but in fact, I don't know why I was filming. I was just fascinated by these colors and all this quality is horrible, I don't know why. Look at this. And women, they always, in Russia we say man is a head and women is a neck, you know? Boom, this was just wind, it's not me. This important, we don't have this, you see the sleeve? You see, I came like 7 times during the year, just for 2-3 days, and every time something happened. Look at this. how can you write it, right? What can you write here? Then I suddenly realized that I'm doing kind of, in a film I'm doing kind of probably history of painting. Because now if you look properly, you will see some reference to art, to painting. Do you think you can read things without light? Number 6.
La norma número 6. Trata de no forzar a la gente a repetir acciones o palabras. La vida es irrepetible e impredecible. Espera, observa, siente. Estarás listo para filmar con tu propia manera de hacer películas. Recuerda que las mejores películas son irrepetibles. Recuerda que las mejores películas son hechas a base de tomas irrepetibles. Recuerda que las mejores tomas capturadas son momentos irrepetibles de la vida hechas mediante una irrepetible manera de filmar.
I guess, can you recognize what is it in history of art? You probably know, right? I remember very well this moment in my life when I was probably first time when I visible understand that there is a difference between me and people who is not filmmaker. So I was filming my first film. Hello, guy. He came just to my window. I was filming my first film, and it was filmed about a guy. He was 94 years old, and he was a philosopher, and he got воспаление легких.
Inflamación de brazo. Tenía el brazo inflamado.
Воспаление легких, да?
Легких.
Легких.
No, perdón. Tenía algo con el pulmón.
Yeah.
Una inflamación de pulmón.
И врачи сказали ему, что он должен тренировать легкие, и они купили ему игрушку резиновую, и он должен был ее надувать.
Los médicos le dijeron que tenía que entrenar el pulmón y compraron un juguete de goma y lo tenía que llenar de aire, o sea, inflamando, respirando y llenarlo de aire. Era una especie de ejercicio.
And this is critical moment, you know. Now, especially now. I didn't know shall I show it or not, you know. One thing you can film it accidentally, but another thing to show it, right? But it's too much actually. Next moment is simply too much. And look to the end of the story. Look. And now, look, what is ridiculous miracle, look. Now, look to the stone. She closed it like, and this is important, this is interesting. Look, he cleaned his shoes, right? So I always don't know, you can film it, of course, but I don't know if you can show it or not. Because but if it will be just short, very short, I probably will not use it, but with this, look at him, he just, no. I always say that good people shouldn't be filmmaker, right? I love the end of the story. And of course, such stuff you cannot make in cinema. I mean, I used to live in 35 millimeter cinema, and I used to film 35 millimeter films. But of course, you cannot do it in 35. You cannot wait until she appears, right? Now look at this, like, and the way he goes, look. So coming back to the story with the man philosopher. By the way, you see what's written on the car? Art for time. Imagine, I did not believe me that I never did anything by purpose. So I never ask people to do anything. I never go out from this house. I never tell people to do something for me. It's absolutely 100% documentary. 100%, even this. And this one as well. No, here I paid a little bit for them. Look, it's performing perfect. So my point was, so you see things normally, it's just asphalt, nothing. But then you see asphalt can be green, can be blue, can be red, can be gold color. But in fact, it's just asphalt. And look to the end. In the end, bird will come, you know? I don't know if you're getting pleasure from this moment. Imagine you are filming this, and then you see the green. Suddenly it became green. Just gray asphalt suddenly became green, you know, and gold. Now we need sound. Can we do? Can we make sound? Скажи ему, чтобы sound.
¿Podéis subir el sonido, por favor? El volumen.
It's too late, anyway. So this is just asphalt, nothing else. Some people say it's erotic. I didn't think like this. I just was filming. So, and this guy, he was sitting, I can repeat, he was 94, he had problem with lung, and doctors say he has to exercise lungs. So they bought for him toy, and he has to, он должен был надувать игрушку резиновую.
Está hablando de su película Losef.
Погромче говори, поближе подходи.
Entonces, Losef tenía que hacer este ejercicio para desarrollar su pulmón y respirar en esa bolsa de goma.
This is absolutely documentary. People don't believe me, but I swear. So yeah, I always believe, if you are lucky, everything will happen to you. I mean, you just need this connection with cinema God. Because so the guy was sitting and he was exercising his lung, and he was да, поговори громко, эта история сложная, мне это надо уже транслировать. То есть он должен был надувать легкие.
Entonces, seguimos la historia sobre Losef. Tenía que entrenar su pulmón.
И он надувал и выжимал игрушку, и воздух из игрушки.
Estaba haciendo el ejercicio de respiración, llenando el juguete de goma de aire y soltando el aire.
А на столе у него лежала, знаешь, тополиный пух. И когда он выдувал игрушку, этот воздух из игрушки поднимал тополиный пух.
Era mayo, en Rusia es época cuando el polen está en el aire, entonces su casa estaba llena de polen al tener la ventana abierta. Entonces, cuando respiraba, hacía ese ejercicio, al inspirar se levantaba el polen.
Just one shot, people. This is only one shot. What I believe, this, you see that this cut, when this ball and this moon, I believe people getting pleasure not from story, because you don't remember story. When you remember best film you ever see, I don't believe you remember story. You remember shot. or you remember cut. And when you sit in the room and you getting pleasure from a shot, then of course you need story maybe, but generally in the future, in 10 years time, you will forget story, but you will remember style of the film, shot. Most important for me is the style. You have your own style. Like you see 2 shots from Tarkovsky, you definitely know this is Tarkovsky and no one else. And for me, I would say, for anybody who is making film, most important is not to tell story, not to learn how to tell story, but to learn how to find your own style that people will immediately recognize. That's him, this is Guy, this is Berman, no one else. So, coming back to this story, so Losif told me, he was 94, and he told me that he will die soon. And he even told me that he will die 24th of May. He even told me this day. And in fact, he died 24th of May. So I don't know how he knew it, I don't know. But so he was very ill and he was very old. And obviously he will die, it was obvious. And then I saw him and he was blowing up this toy. And then he squeezed this toy and I moved dust from the table. And I visibly saw his probably last breath. Do you understand? He was breathing, and I saw it visible, you know, this toy becoming bigger, bigger, bigger. And then he squeezed it, and dust from the table fly. You know, it was visible. And what was interesting for me, I saw it, and many people was close to me, his wife, his secretary, my assistant, another sound man. No one saw this as something absolutely cinematic, or like what I say about Newton, right? Everybody saw it, but you need to see this moment, that this is like not just action, this is more than action, this is something meaningful. This is absolutely Russian way. You don't do it, guys. No one else does. Only Russians. Before we start driving, we 5-7 minutes doing this. I don't know why. I don't know. Look, they stay just close to the, and just I cannot explain. This is typical only Russia. No one else in the world. You see, they enjoy it every morning, every morning. Now he goes, finally. But therefore, first you see, when you will come to Russia, even to St. Petersburg, probably most beautiful city in the planet, first you will meet will be dust. The first, you know, I'm here like few days, I don't need to clean my shoes. In Russia, you do it 3 times a day. I promise, you know. I will say something for you very strange. Maybe it's something, if I will say what is documentary filmmaker? Documentary filmmaker is kind of magnet. Magnet, you know magnet? Magnet?
Un imán.
Magnet, right?
Imán.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's absolutely. So the one guy is there coming down, and another one trying to help him with oxygen. You see? That one can breathe. Did you notice what happened now? This is a hole, and car just, and now look what they did. It's absolutely ridiculous. They told him, don't go, you will, probably ground will go down, but look what they do. This is kind of sign. It's dangerous, don't go. Imagine this, I don't know. Can we film it in Spain? Huh? They just left, it's okay. What I believe that filmmaker is kind of magnet. So whatever I appear, everything happened if I'm with camera. If I'm with camera, something will happen. Even if I will film here, something will happen here. I don't know, maybe fire. Maybe, I don't know, maybe roof will fall down. Something will happen, just for me. If you will film, probably nothing will happen. But if I will film, definitely something will happen. By the way, this was a miracle. Actually, I was watching Oscar ceremony. This was the night of Oscar ceremony. And in Russia, it's very late. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. They just start giving Oscars. And I was watching, and then I saw moon. And somebody told me that I made the wrong title. How do you call this part of the belly? Belly? Poop.
El ombligo.
Кто-то мне сказал, что правильно назвать фильм «Пуп земли».
Alguien le ha dicho que sería correcto llamar la película El ombligo del mundo.
Now, теперь, пожалуйста, читай следующий. Только погромче.
La séptima norma. La toma es la base del cine. Recuerda que el cine fue inventado con una toma por sí sola. Un documental, por cierto, sin ningún tipo de historia. La historia existía solo dentro de la toma. Las tomas deben antes que nada proporcionar al público nuevas impresiones.
People, problem is, if you show this in Russia, by the way, this film was 1 year in cinema in Russia. 1 year non-stop. In one theater, but non-stop. Russians, we always say we are like, we have Dostoevsky, Pushkin, Tolstoy, Tchaikovsky, Tarkovsky, and so on and so on and so on. But somehow we live in shit. I don't know. This is kind of, this is our miracle. You know? This is. And what people do in Russia, you know what they do? They open door in the morning. It's cold. They don't want to go with dog, and they open door, and dog go itself, and they pretend they don't know why dog on the street. Imagine you film something like this, and then obviously there is no story. And of course, there is kind of storyline, because always something happened with this whole. But the storyline not exist. And my idea is, I need to tell you two things what I'm trying to do normally. My idea is, first of all, what I do, if I have 10 hours material, for example, if I need to make 1 hour film, let's say I need to make 1 hour film, mostly what people will do, they will make, first they will make 2 hours film, right? Or 3 hours film maybe, then 2 hours film, then 1.5 hour, and then they will make 1 hour film. So people normally go, they make a big rough cut and make it smaller and smaller. I have a different approach, and I suggest try to make it. I do opposite. If I need 1 hour film, I am making 25 minutes film, 20 minutes film first. Just 20 minutes. I need to be sure that this 20 minutes is real important for the film. Like, what I'm doing is, whatever I film, I'm trying to find crucial shots for the film. Like, what is most important for the film? And then, when I have these 20 minutes, then I'm trying to put them in order. I don't have story, right? But I know this could be beginning because of many, many reasons. We will talk it after a little bit later. Just first listen to what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that I'm trying to build kind of skeleton.
Un esqueleto. Está intentando hacer un esqueleto de las tomas que
So I'm trying to build first skeleton, and I want to be sure that this is shots definitely will be in the film. And then I'm trying to move them apart. Like, then I'm trying to put something in between those shots to make space, to make film breathe, and to make it alive. It's very strange way to do it, but try once and you will see it works. Because I definitely believe important is it must be kind of shots that you know talking to people. Because for me, perception is more important than story. I can explain it very much, very simple. Like here, 300 people at the moment, 300. So few of you likes me, like few of you likes me, and few of you hate me, and everything I say is bullshit and total nonsense. But I'm saying same story. So I'm saying I'm one person here, but you look different. You simply see different person now. You see someone you like, you see someone you hate, but I'm just one, right? So it means actually that not important what I'm saying, important how you see it, right? And therefore, I believe filmmaker is not a person who knows how to make film. Filmmaker, in my opinion, is a person who knows how to make film, who will show film, who will listen what people say to him, It's not necessarily you have to tell me something, but I need to feel what you feel. And then who can make second film, another film. That's, it's kind of circle. If you don't have this circle, I don't believe you're a filmmaker. It's radical what I'm saying, maybe it's wrong, but for me, very much important that, film is not dying, that I will show you something. By the way, this is absolutely ridiculous, you know. I filmed it 10 years ago, finally today they start talking about this, that you cannot put asphalt on the snow. And you remember 30 minutes before it was same couple. This is also a very Russian way. You see, it's so, that's how we live. Most beautiful city in the world. But nice people, look at her, look at this woman. Look to the end, what she does. Did you see how she put snow? Did you see that she put snow on the back? Did you? And I asked her, the other day I met her on the street, and I said, listen, can I ask you something? Look how, what is this? That's how we live. So I met her the other day on the street, and I said, listen, once I filmed you, and you took snow, and you put snow on the back, why did you do this? And this is typical. And she said, how you can ask? You are from St. Petersburg, you need to know that first snow is only white, first snow. When the first snow is coming, it's very white and very clean, and I collect it for my flowers. So what I'm saying is, for me, perception is kind of important stuff. I mean, when I'm making film, I have seven viewers. I'm trying to imagine like this. I'm sitting here, I made it film, and I'm trying to imagine my viewers behind me. And it's very different people. It could be I imagine, I don't invite people to my editing room, but it could be Sakura for some of my friends who I love, or I can trust them. I don't invite them, but I imagine what they will say. Or my neighbor who is just normal, ordinary person, or the guy who lives close to me, like policeman, and I'm trying to imagine what they will say. So different people, different kind of people, because what we actually do, we do compromise, because if you do it for history of cinema, let's say, pathetically, I hope you understand my self-irony. I don't believe I'm a good filmmaker, but I'm just saying, if you imagine that you are doing good film, so sometimes you think you have to cut here, but for one people it's too long, for one viewer it's too long, but for another one it's too short. So what I'm trying to do always, I'm trying to imagine how people will react. And this is a very much good one, because you know what she said? She said, "You are so beautiful, pity we didn't film you." She doesn't know I'm filming. I know, she said, "We need to make a photo of you, you are such a beautiful boy." She doesn't know I'm So, talking about perception, so I'm trying to imagine how you will react on one episode or another episode. And as far as I don't have story, I'm trying to imagine which is most crucial shot and most critical shot. And I'm trying to imagine that there are some shots you cannot take. For example, there are many shots here. You can say, director is ugly person, right? So there are some shots you say it's impossible to show. There are some shots will be later, absolutely impossible to show, even maybe impossible to film. And by the way, this one very good, because any country in the world, people make applause in this. It's so simple, but wherever a film goes, people make applause. This is homeless dog, and she decided to give him something. This is very typical face for St. Petersburg. This is like people who live through blockade in St. Petersburg. This how we look, like, you know. So actually, I saw those young people. I saw them. I saw two group of people. This old people and young people, and of course, obviously, I could cut and make two shots, but I was waiting for transition. For me, it was interesting, like that. It will be in one shot, and I was waiting for a person who passed and give me motivation to move camera. I'm very often need motivation to do something with my camera. For example, here, you know, this tractor is supposed to clean. And this is what I'm saying. This episode, you hate me, but watch it first. This guy with white dress, he's just normal person. He was just passing by. He decided to help the police. And you need to notice one thing. Now even policemen will stop him. Like, you see, he's so aggressive. Even policemen will stop him. And I want you to pay attention to music, because this is a very strange story. Look what he does. So, in this moment, in my room, in my apartment, was this music. So it's real sound for this shot. So in my apartment, I'm listening music in this moment. And it happened that music recorded together with this shot. And that's why I called to composer and I said, listen, it happened that your music is in my film. And maybe we can make music for the rest of the film. So I wanted to make film without music, actually. I always dreamed to make film without music. I always believed the best film is film without music. But it never happened to me. I guess no, once I did. So, and then we decided to compose music for all story. So, coming back to this ugly episode. Imagine I show this episode in the beginning of the film. If I show this episode in the beginning of the film, maybe half of you will leave room. Because you will say, director is idiot, not good person, and what I did before. Then I said, now important. I believe this is important. Instead of making dramaturgy of the film, instead of making storyline, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to prepare you to see such ugly moments. So I know this ugly moment cannot be in the beginning. Coming back to skeleton, if I make 20 minutes film, I know this episode will be somewhere in the end. And then what I need to do, I need you to be ready to see it. So I need you, let's put it simply way. I need you to like me. I need you to be sure I'm not an ugly person. I need to seduce you somehow, that you will believe me, that I did it not with bad reason, I did it by good purpose. And what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to make you ready to see it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So for me, it's more important than story, because what I believe, I actually stole it from Dostoevsky. It's not my idea. Dostoevsky, he always knows what you think. If you read Dostoevsky, it's absolutely miracle. You read his pages, and he kind of reading you. You read him, but in fact, he is reading you. This is always miracle. Somehow he knows what do you feel at the moment. Somehow he really knows what to say to you that you say, he's talking to me. And he really knows, this is ballet. For me, this is a ballet. Look to they're using shoes and feet to make an asphalt. That's why it stays long. You see, it's ballet for me. I was trying kind of come to finish somewhere in Malevich, in Black Quadrat. I believe you saw Manet and Monet and Renoir, and I believe you saw many things here. And I wanted to make it clear. But of course, this is kind of something behind the story. Maybe for someone important, look what they do. They measure. They measure how much money they can ask for. It's complicated figure, right? And next one is absolutely miracle, because people say, I invented, or people say, I broke it myself. So you see, during 1 year, 8 times it was broken. I know this is a long shot, but you know, you will see this, как тополиный пух, одна пушинка будет. Look.
Mirad el polen que está volando ahí.
So they start with one, in the beginning of the film it was one tractor, now is all Russian army here. You see this, that's why it's, can you imagine what kind of water we drink if we have such tube? Now, can you please look to the mirror, to reflection, when it starts move, you will see something. She took fish from the fridge and she will smell it. And this is absolutely impossible to explain to anybody. By the way, this is for me very important, that I can always imagine something else. Like, for example, now I see dinosaur, and then look, it's really like dinosaur. Look to these faces. Look what he does, it's just unbelievable. And there is one shot I move, there are two episodes I move, they are not chronological. This one, look at her, look so beautiful, look. Obviously she has a headache, and if you will look properly, you will understand this is very cold. Because people who will pass, they will dress well. In this moment, I was filming her, and I was thinking something wrong with her. Because she was saying silence, hush, silence, silence. Like for everything, for birds, for cats, for those people who make in roads. She was kind of, I thought she is mad. And I wanted to run, to help her, because it's very cold actually. You will see now people. Yeah, from this point I said, I shouldn't film, I have to run, to give her a coat or something. Look to the people, they dress very well, right? So I thought I have to run and help her, because it's obviously, she's saying Tishe just for kids playing, you know. I didn't understand what, in the beginning I didn't understand what's going on. Yeah, and particularly in this moment, I was almost stopping camera, because I thought I have to run, help her. And then something happened. This. So the name of the dog was Tishe. So now we can make light. So, can you read the last two?
La norma número 9. El documental es el único arte en el que cada elemento estético casi siempre tendrá un aspecto ético, y cada aspecto ético se puede usar estéticamente. Trata de seguir siendo humano, especialmente mientras se edita la película. Quizás las buenas personas no deberían hacer documentales. No sigas mis reglas, encuentra tus propias reglas. Siempre hay algo que tú puedes filmar como nadie más.
So if you have questions now, we can.
Si tenéis preguntas,
Yes.
Yo no estaba seguro si era la plaza, cerca de la Plaza Roja, en Moscú, o San Petersburgo, o lo que antes luego se llamó Petrogrado. Y quería preguntarte si has tenido una dificultad pasiva.
I believe in a miracle. So I believe if you're in the right path, something will happen just for you. Maybe if you will film from your window, nothing will happen. But I'm lucky, if you can say so.
I'm actually from India, and while I was working in documentaries in India, there was never a question of whether I can film on the street or whether I can film in the metro or whether I can film here or there. While I'm trying to make a film here, there is a lot of question of, oh, you need a permission to film on the streets of Madrid. I honestly want to film endlessly in the metro, in the underground, and they asked me for 5,000 euros I need to pay them. So I don't know how I'm supposed to go ahead, because I'm really good with shooting without permission, and I've done that in the past a lot in my own country. So I would like to do it here because I don't see any other option, because I don't have 5,000 euros to pay just to get a shot in a metro.
This is very difficult question. Do you know that very much important. So you know the person who goes out in London, who goes out from his house in the morning, and then he comes back in the evening. You know that he was filmed by 300 cameras, everyone. So if you go in the morning, 300 cameras filming you during the day, in metro, in street, in everywhere. So every time you go on the street, forget about private life, generally. But from another side, everyone from this film can put me in jail. Yeah? So what I did is, I wouldn't say I'm Jack Nicholson, but people kind of know me in St. Petersburg. And what I did is, I actually did not hide camera. I put it openly so that people saw it's always there. I did not film. Camera was always visible. So sometimes even people, those guys who was doing roads, sometimes they even say hello to me. It's a very difficult question. I don't know if you have to take risk, because you can only do it if you do something more than to make pain for people. You know, it's kind of, if you do this just to say they're assholes, then you can't do it. But if you do in a way that they forgive you afterwards, they probably, you can do it, they can accept it. Because people saw it, because it's 1 year in cinema, so everybody saw it, and no one say a word for me. So I remember I decided in 90, I decided to make a film about people who were born in the same day with me. All people who were born in the same day with me in St. Petersburg. And miraculously happened that it was born 50 boys and 51 girls. And I found all of them, and I filmed them. And I filmed them in very strange, tough situation of life. Sometimes I film them giving birth. I film them after suicide. I film them. So, and only possible to do this if you know that you do it for good reason. Like you really, with open heart, trying to do. This is one point. Another point. When I was making Antipodes, Viva las Antipodes, one guy from Chile, Carlos Klein, he was making film about me. It's called Where the Condors Fly. Maybe did you see it or not? So, and what I tell you guys, I saw the film, and this film is not about me. I am on the screen 90 minutes, but it's not about me. It's someone looks like me. It's someone walk like me, talk like me, but it's not me. What I suggest, if you do film documentary, don't promise to people you are making film about. I cannot promise. If I film you, I will not say I will film you. I like you, for example, but if I film you, it's not going to be film about you. It's going to be film about someone with such strange white hair, long, and it could be you, but it will be more than you. It will be someone more than you. It will be a universal figure. And therefore, you will forgive me, even I will film you in not a nice situation. You understand what I'm saying? If you do more than, if people trust that you do it not by making money or by getting rich or famous, if you do it, then even Belarus, it was a tough film, but they kind of understood that it's something more than about them. It's about Russia. It's about Russian people. It's about Russian fucking life, So if you do if you're honest, that probably it works. But it's tricky. I cannot say do it because maybe you're going to be in jail. Then you call me and say, pay, take me out from jail. So don't follow my rules, Yeah.
Hola, bueno, muchas gracias. Mi pregunta es, bueno, no es el caso de esta película, pero sí en el de Iba a las Antípodas, hay momentos donde él entra en casas y les graba de cerca a la gente. Entonces mi pregunta era lo primero, cómo consigue convencerlos, ¿no? Y más con la barrera idiomática, y cómo consigue invisibilizarse, estar ahí y que todo parezca tan natural y normal. No es ya desde una ventana, ¿no? Desde donde él graba, sino está dentro de ese espacio.
This is very interesting, actually. This is very interesting. How you say it? Every time I pronounce it, people say I'm cuckoo, but I cannot find another explanation. I always say it like a first time you meet woman, and if you say wrong word, just one wrong word in the beginning, you will never get it. You understand, right? So you just need one wrong step, and you lost. And same with documentary. You need to see people, you need to understand them immediately in 1 second, and you need to know what to say first. If you say wrongly, no way. So this is kind of big task. I mean, I wouldn't say I made it immediately from my childhood. I guess it's getting with experience. Now I can film everywhere. Now I can film presidents, I can film everywhere. I can film ordinary people, because you have to find right words in the first second. You have to open any door. But this is experience. It's like, so I can explain it. So it's like this. Our job is beautiful because what we are doing actually, we are trying to find unique points in every person. So whatever I film, I have to find something unique on you, right? Otherwise I will make film about you as anybody else can film you, right? If I don't find your beauty, if I don't find why you are beautiful, what is your point? What is your bad side? What is your good side? If I don't see it, I'm lost. I lost completely. So, and our duty is to see it immediately and to see beauty of every person immediately. So for me, it's very easy to fall in love. I just, unfortunately, because I immediately see why you are beautiful. I know. I can explain. You probably don't. but I can show you why you're beautiful. I can turn light, and I will say, you see how beautiful you are. Look to your face, for example. Look to this beautiful, you know, for me it's very easy. I immediately love you. And I can do something. I put camera in a way that you will surprise how beautiful you are. And that's a really privilege. And this is one side. Another side, unfortunately, I also can see what is bad in you. I wouldn't say open, okay? Don't worry. So, and this is problem because you also, you can fall in love 5 times a day, but you also 5 times a day you don't want to leave because you see some bad stuff. But talking to people, I guess you have to go directly to the point. You cannot say, oh, you're beautiful. It doesn't work. You have to find this unique why she's beautiful. And then you have to find what is her worries, what is her problem, what is her, you have to know this, and you have to put it together, kind of in first line. You have to say something that she immediately knows that you understood her more than her husband, more than anybody else. You understood immediately how special she is. And you immediately understood what is her problem. If you say so, she is open for everything. You can film. But it's not, it sounds simple, but it's experience. It's probably need time to, maybe you have different skills, you know, maybe you go a different way. This is my way. I'm trying to, did I answer? I don't know. Anything else?
Mi pregunta es hasta qué punto te ves retratado en esta obra, en esta visión de tu calle, y cómo encajaría la idea de autorretrato en esos 10 puntos que nos has formulado. Gracias.
I don't know. Shall I do this and say, no, I swear it's documentary? I don't know. Every film I have problem, same problem. Every film I make, people don't believe me. People always say, no, it's fiction. No, it's not. It's just what I'm trying to achieve normally. I believe best documentary looks like fiction, best fiction looks like documentary. Maybe I'm wrong. But if I look for the history, if I look to the history of cinema, if I look to the best fiction film, they probably also document. Maybe they document of the talent of filmmaker. Maybe they document of time they live. But it's in a way it's documentary. And I actually don't. Getting to the beginning, I would say, forget it, documentary or fiction. The crucial thing, if you want to make documentary, and you know this story or this image works as document, do documentary. But if you feel this story works better in fiction, just do fiction. But if you make documentary, the crucial material, which is like basic of the film, must be definitely documentary. In this film, 100% documentary. There is nothing single. There is only one thing I made. I put my face on the reflection. This is the only thing I made. Nothing else. So I never ask them to do something. I never do. But in fact, once again, I believe we shouldn't make good films anymore. We must make exceptionally great films. Like, I will not make, I promise you, I never will not do normal film. I know how to make good films, I will not. I promise you, you will see my next film, you will say, what the hell? I promise you that I will surprise you. I want to surprise myself, you know. I want to do something that I cannot do. I can easily make another Belos. I can easily make another Antipodes. I know how to do things. I know how to do such stuff. But I will not do it. I will make film which I cannot do. I will make something you never see before. And you cannot even imagine it's possible to do this. I want to surprise you completely and surprise myself. And I suggest you do same, because this is only way for us to keep this business running. If we just making production after production, then we have hell, because today producer, he doesn't need to show film. He simply doesn't need to show film, right? Producer today, he need produce film. That's how he live. He lives because he produce films. He doesn't care if film will screen or not. We build industry which runs because it runs. And it means the point of artist, not important. Artist is the guy who doesn't know why, something inside him pushing him to film. And this point not exist at the moment at the moment the European film production is not exist. Because for producer important that he knows you have idea, he can get money by your idea, by your name. Then he can take 1 million. Then he can give you half of the million. Half of the million he will keep in his house. Then he will run his company. And then in the moment you finish film, first imagine you need a crane 5 meters. He will say, no, why you need 5? You need 3-meter crane. You say, no, I need 5. He say, no, it's documentary, come on. What is different? In TV, who will watch, who will see different? 3-meter crane or 5-meter crane? Then he will finish film. He will not even print poster. He will not even do anything that film will screen. If film is not pushing them itself, if film is not running itself, he is not interested to do it, because he is interested to produce next film to feed his secretary again. And this is like, we are doing hell now. That's why we are not selling film. Do you notice what's going on even in Europe now? No one selling film, but selling ideas. What we are doing? We are training people to pitch, right? We are training people to pitch ideas everywhere. It used to be only one place in the world, Amsterdam. Now every single corner. Pitching session. We are training how to present your pitch, how to present your project. Who teach you present your film? No one. Why Americans know how to present film and we don't? We just presenting project. Why? Because presenting project you can get money. But it's absurd. So we are selling idea and project. We're not selling film. We're supposed to live from the viewers. We're supposed to live that people watch our film and people like our film. That's why I suggest we have to come back to the cinema. That's why I suggest we have to stop depend on TV. We definitely have to, we need to convince people who live in our countries that documentary is art, big art. And documentary is big emotional cinema. Could be emotional, same as emotional fiction. Maybe it's hopeless what I'm saying, maybe it's absurd, but this is my belief. I believe we need to make incredible films that people who watch this, they will say, wow, I have to pay my tax that someone will make such film. Otherwise, one day they will say, why I'm paying tax? That someone asshole will show me something on TV? It's absurd. So one day we will ruin our business if we will continue to make more. We need to, I believe, better to make one film in 10 years or in 5 years, but this film will fit you. This film fit me 5 years. I was eating 5 years just for this film. It's, and I don't know, it doesn't, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying, I'm just saying people have to come to cinema and they have to feel something they did not feel before. Like, no one told them anything like this. No one, because cinema gives you something what you never get in listening music or reading books. Cinema can give you image you never saw. And then you can get feeling you never get before. And this is most important thing. Like, it's almost like love, you know, because I can tell you, it's like this. You are all big people, you are not children. I can be open, right? We can talk, like, we are not monogam, right? So, it means everyone, let's say, everyone has experience with few people. Someone more, someone less, doesn't matter. What is important is that with one person you behave as one person, but with another person you suddenly became another person, right? Even you talk with your one friend, you are nice. You're talking with another friend, you are sneaky. You're talking with someone else, you are very clever. With someone else, you are finally funny. So people change you, right? You are talking, for example, me, I have no sense of humor. But there is one person in the world, when I meet him, I'm always funny. I know how to make jokes. In fact, I don't. But if I meet him, I'm funny. You know, this is kind of secret. So there are some people who provoke you to be sneaky, or you know what I mean, right? There are some people who provoke you to be noble or благородным.
Noble. Hay gente que te provoca que seas noble, que te comportes como si fueras noble.
So that's what we have to do, I believe. We have to do something that people go to see our film and came out better person. They feel I'm a good person. I watched this film and I was crying and I'm good. I'm not shit. That's what I believe we have to do. We have to provoke. We have to find something inside viewers, inside public, inside everyone. Something what will touch heart, and he will cry, and he will say, "Oof, I'm able to cry because of I don't know, because of butterfly, or because of rain, or because of nothing serious." Because look what we do. We wake up in the morning, we switch off TV, right? We eat, and we see news. And what we see? Airplane crash, terrorists kill 100 people. What we do? We continue to eat, right? In the dinner, in the lunch, we get in news. We did not stop it, even. We continue to eat. So, the fact doesn't kill us anymore, that doesn't touch us anymore. Any horrible fact doesn't touch us anymore. But cinema can touch you. Even you don't show horrible thing. Even you just show stupid thing, and it can touch you, right? It's miracle. It's miracle. It's absolutely miracle. And let's do something. I wish you good luck, people. Ciao.